Good. Good. I'm just going to give everyone a few minutes. It's quite a few on the call this evening, so I want to give everyone a couple more minutes to come in. We're going to start with the meditation anyway, and then we're going to, hey Dervla, oh, lovely to see you.
Welcome to be here. Some technical glitches, but I'm here.
That's okay. That's okay. There's a full moon coming as well, so that'll play havoc with all the technical stuff.
Great.
It's lovely to see you.
Lovely to be here. Thanks, Helen.
Thanks, Dervla. Thank you. Hey, Avril. Hi. Hi, Monica. How are you? Hey.
Hi, Helen.
Good. So we're going to start with the meditation, and then we're going to get into the ins and outs of Bealtaine. And of course, we're focusing on the two main themes of abundance and fertility. And then we're going to do our second meditation. So that's the flow of the evening. But in between the first and second, we're also going to be doing our fire ceremony too. What you'll need is, pen and paper, especially for the fire ceremony. And of course, this should be, it is being recorded at the moment and to be sent to you if you need to refresh yourself. And any of the information that will all be there. And I'm going to attempt to, with my new microphone, record the second meditation for which would be a podcast microphone. If I can ever work the thing out, that would be great. So I'm going to try record on that to see if I can record the meditation part just a little bit better quality. So hopefully that will work okay. It should sound exactly the same for you. It just means the recording should be a little bit better sound wise. Hey Selena, how are you? Great. You will need, you'll need pen and paper. You'll need your fire ceremony items, though you can do that later on. You'll have space or time to do that. We're going to kind of run straight through. So finish up around anywhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, probably more around 8:45 or so. And with the fire ceremony break, there's a comfort break in that as well. Okay, well, let's do a meditation just to help us come into the space, to help us kind of let go of our day and to be more present to ourselves and to the energy of Bealtaine this evening. Okay, so get yourself comfortable and let me share my screen and share my music. Hopefully this will be... And if this doesn't work, if somebody could let me know, that'd be great, but it should work. I know, share. Okay, make yourselves comfortable wherever you are, closing your eyes. You can be sitting upright or you can be lying down if you want. It's going to be a short meditation, so whatever feels right for you. And during the course of this evening, I'm going to be sending you healing, of course, while we do the meditation, so being open to receiving that healing. Gently closing your eyes if they're not already. Taking a couple of deep breaths. And with every out breath, just letting go of your day. Closing down the tabs in the brain. Closing down the work tab. Closing down the home tab of any projects around the house that is distracting you or on your mind. We don't often have many tabs open like we can do in our computer. Loads of different programs function at the same time. Our brains can operate the same way. And so we start this meditation closing down the tabs. So then closing the one or any other ones that are open, are still open for you. The tasks or to-do lists, projects. Closing everything down, so telling your brain, telling your body that the day is over now. And that this is your time for self-care. This is your time for you. If you have any guides, power animals, or spirit helpers that you work with, and call upon them now. If there's anybody that you would like to invite into this space, ancestors, angels, archangels, to guide you and help you as we go through this call. And call upon them now, if you wish. On behalf of our circle this evening, I call upon the energy of Bealtaine, the light of Bealtaine, the potential, the celebration, the lightness, fertility, abundance, the element of fire. And I call upon the goddess Eriu. Come into our circle this evening so that we may journey to you later on and to receive a healing from you during that meditation. Bringing your awareness now to your sacral chakra, which is your belly, just below your belly button. You can place your hands on that chakra if you wish. And don't worry about getting it exactly right. It's more or less just below your belly button. Placing your hands here, bringing your attention and your breath into your sacral. This is your creation center, your chakra of abundance and creativity, pleasure, sensuality, sexuality. And this is the chakra that's associated, of course, with Bealtaine. Many of the same themes in common. And as you breathe in now, imagine your breath is a beautiful orange color. Comes down into your belly, and as you breathe out, you open the doorway, front and back of the sacral chakra, to allow some fresh air to flow into your sacral. So breathing down orange into the sacral, into the belly, the in-breath. As you breathe out, seeing that breath traveling out the front and back doors of the sacral. Allowing any old stagnant energy, letting it flow out through those doors. It's asking your body, physical body, emotional body, mental and spiritual body, to let go of any past disappointments around the manifestation of abundance, fertility, passion, any of the other themes of the sacral. Many times it might not have worked out. Letting go of the emotions behind any disappointments, perhaps, or creative projects not starting, or starting and getting so far and not coming to fruition. And with your breath, asking your sacral to let go of any shame that it might be holding. This also blocks the sacral, and it blocks our ability to receive abundance. Feeling we're not deserving. Or who am I to want that, dream that, have that? We'll ask the sacral chakra to release any shame it's holding. Breathing in fresh energy, this new beginning, the energy of Bealtaine, the energy of the light, the energy of the growth. It's all around you. Invite it to come all the way down into the sacral, to fill the sacral up. Creating space. Laying the foundations for the work we're going to do this evening. Just a couple more breaths here. Really focusing on breathing in the energy of Bealtaine, the energy from the trees and the flowers, life that's all around you. And letting go as you breathe out through those doors, the past, the shame, the disappointments. 3 more breaths here. And once more. And you can let your breath be normal, easy, gentle. And beginning to bring your attention back to the room that you're in. Opening your eyes whenever you wish to. So, Bealtaine, please, as normal, ask any questions anytime, or feel free to contribute or just have a chat at any stage. It's lovely, always lovely hearing these calls from you. So let me just stop this for a moment. Okay, I need to share again. Apologies. Okay. Monica, can you see that PowerPoint? Yeah, you can. Great. Thank you. Okay. We are in Bealtaine, and you'll see here from the Celtic wheel, we are coming into the south of the Celtic wheel. So north time is winter solstice, south winter solstice, east is Imbolc spring equinox, south is Bealtaine summer solstice. It's literally in the south of the compass. The solstices and the equinoxes always have the same dates every year, but Imbolc, Bealtaine, Lunasan, Samhain have different dates depending on the moon and the stars and the signs and the cosmos and what's going on. So traditionally, kind of the communal date is always 1st of May. You'll see that as May Day. But astrologically this year, Bealtaine is actually true, but Bealtaine is happening on May the 5th, which is Friday. And that culminates with also a full moon in Scorpio and a lunar eclipse. We are in for some turbulent times ahead. But what makes it even more important to be doing this work at this time. Full moon in Scorpio, and we have a meeting actually on Sunday, an in-person meetup. If you are feeling the effects of the full moon and want to do some meditation and release work around that, then we have that in-person event on Sunday at 3 to 5 if you want to come along to that. But to give you a brief synopsis, the full moon in Scorpio is all about transmutation, but it's going inner as well. And this is a time, from what I gather from the study I've done today, with the full moon in it as well. Full moons are about illumination. So this kind of next week is all going to illuminate our shadow side. We're going to be seeing a lot of things that we don't like about ourselves. A lot of self-sabotage work, self-sabotage behavior might come on as well. You know, if you're on the diet and you keep reaching for the biscuit, that kind of self-sabotage, or you want to succeed, but you keep doing things to stop yourself succeeding, or you want to be seen and you keep saying no to opportunities, all of that self-sabotage. So it can be quite a difficult period to navigate that. So just go really, really easy on yourself over the next week. Not a time to try and manifest anything, not a time to make any sudden decisions, because that could be from that shadow side. So really it's a time to lay low, and it's a time to do the fire ceremonies that we're going to do today, but also good to do a few more over the weekend if you feel like it as well. But that's what we're in at the moment. But let's really focus on Bealtaine. There's a number of different aspects to Bealtaine. This is officially the first signs of summer. We're not in summer straight, you know, we're still wearing our jackets, but we've kind of discarded maybe a couple of layers, is maybe not the scarves. Maybe we're bearing our legs a little bit. So there's a sense of vulnerability and a sense of exposing ourselves in Bealtaine. It can feel a little bit odd as we're shedding the layers of winter time and stepping into the summer. We're not in the height of summer. Height of summer comes really between Bealtaine and summer solstice, and summer solstice is really the beginning of the decline into the darkness. But really between now and summer solstice, which is the 21st of June, we have this period of just total illumination, so much light, so much potential, so much growth in the earth, that it is a brilliant, brilliant time for us to be setting intentions, except for this weekend, because of the full moon and the lunar eclipse as well. But from early next week on, it's a really, really good time to be thinking about shining our light, stepping into our light, setting intentions, really focusing on what we want to grow, but being very careful about not getting busy for busy's sake, because we can get so excited in the energy of Bealtaine that we set 1,000,001 goals, and we don't actually stop to think, are these the things that I really want to manifest in my life? Or am I just doing all these things because I think that I should be doing all these things? So it's important that's a real fire energy sign. So it's a really important time to ground that with some earthing, to, you know, set your intentions, think about them, mull over them, dream really big, but then sit down with them and go, okay, right, what do I really want? What's most important to me here? What would really make my heart sing? Not what I feel I should be manifesting or should be working on, but what would make my heart sing? Because joy is a huge part of manifestation as well. And that's all aligned to the Bealtaine and summer solstice themes. So we're in this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous phase of growth and celebration and festivity and light. And I love this Bealtaine prayer. So it's actually, it says Bealtaine prayer on this. That's the English. What is the English Celts called Bealtaine? It's Bealtaine, but the Gaelic word for Bealtaine is Bealtaine, which some of you know from school. It's also the Irish word for May. So a lot of people would say that Bealtaine is a month-long festival. It isn't just a day, or it isn't just a period of time. It's for the whole month. So the Bealtaine fire sends its flames to the sun, the promise of summer warmth to come. The horned god dances through the green, chasing after his goddess and queen. The earth mother laughs with joy that a young consort is no longer a boy. Their sacred marriage empowers the earth, and couples seek their blessings for future birth. Hawthorn blossoms in radiant white, and clarity grows in the quickening light. Now is the time for action and life, to fertilize plans and banish strife. Take the leap across the Bealtaine of fire, and let the energies take you higher. And that's the essence of Bealtaine. Our ancestors celebrated Bealtaine in a number of ways, and it really was a very joyful festival, because you're finally coming out of winter. The first signs of summer are coming, the first fruits are appearing, and the cattle are beginning to produce their milk as well. So they had a number of rituals and ceremonies that they would have performed over the course of Bealtaine. And most of them, well, the main one would have taken place in uisneach, which a lot of you have heard me talking about before. Uisneach is the mythical 5th province of Ireland, and it's the bullseye right in the centre. And every year now, so it's happening on Saturday, there's a Bealtaine fire festival where they reenact some of the traditions and the blessings that would have been performed for thousands of years ago, and they light the Bealtaine fire as well. So I'd recommend going to that. Sold out this year, but definitely next year, or even going down to uisneach. If you go into uisneach.ie, you can book a tour, and it's really worth going to any time of the year. It's a really amazing place. Okay, other themes of Bealtaine is all around that balance of the inner male and inner female, which we'll be going into in a little bit. But we want to focus really on a couple of main themes. But anyway, so far, that's okay with everybody. Any questions on that so far? Okay. Okay. I love this quote. The flower doesn't dream of the bee, it blossoms and the bee comes. And that's a really wonderful teaching of Bealtaine. It's not about dreaming of something coming and us opening as the flower would open when the bee comes. We just open and then the bee comes. And that's all part of manifestation, abundance, fertility, is that we need to blossom first and then the abundance will come to us. It's not about, like, so often we say, you know, when I'll be happy when, if only I could have more money, then I would do X, Y, and Z. Or if I had that relationship, then I would do this. If I had a different job, if I could manifest that, then I would feel good about myself. Well, all of these teachings would say, well, feel abundant first. Work on how you would feel. So say, for example, if you had another job, you wanted to manifest a job and you knew that would make you feel so much calmer, or you'd have a sense of freedom, for example. You manifested your ideal job or excitement about going to work, then you start working on feeling that way now, and then the job will come. So you work on how you want to feel, and that will attract in the bee. You blossom first and the bee comes. So it's like emanating and cultivating and embodying the energy of what you want to attract. So if you want abundance, if you want an abundance of money in your life, it's not saying you go out and you spend loads, but you act as if you have loads of money. You pretend as if you are that abundant, that you could do anything, you could do all the choice in the world. If you want an abundance of clients, you act as if you have a full diary. If you want an abundance of opportunity, you act as if you have that abundance of opportunity. You emanate the energy of it. It's not trying to fool yourself, but it's just emanating the energy of what you want to attract in, because like attracts like. Because if we're in the other way of being, it's actually one of the blocks to abundance. If we're in an area of, oh God, I've got no money now, if only I could have more money, then I could book that holiday, then you're in a place of lack, and lack just attracts lack, and you're going to get more of that in your life. Okay, so we'll go into more of that now in a minute, because it's going to come into our fire ceremony. There's many themes of Bealtaine, sex being one of them, fertility. You might have seen people dancing around the maypole, and that's a big tradition, and that's the symbol of the phallus, you know. So it is about celebrating sex as a creative, or making love and passion as a creative process in a wonderful, you know, really joyful way. And indeed, at Bealtaine, that's when couples would have been matched, where there would have been a lot of hand fasting, a lot of marriages would have taken place at Bealtaine as well. So it's about passion, celebration, energy, joy, light, sex, abundance, fertility. Loads of really, really wonderful themes for Bealtaine, but of course we want to focus just on the two. Symbols in the maypole, the colours are white, and it's a time to focus on getting things done and staying present to your dreams, but being careful of, like I mentioned earlier, I said it on Facebook during the week, I don't know if you saw it, well, if you look in the garden at the moment, there's a lot of growth, there's a lot of beautiful flowers coming up, but there's also a lot of weeds that are coming up too. And that's the same for us, is because we're so busy, and we can be so busy at this time. Be careful of the weeds. You know, what's taking your energy? What are you focusing on? Are you giving more energy to the weeds, or even do you have a weed kind of mindset? Are you focusing just on the things that are wrong in your life? Are you focusing on the things that are positive in your life? Or where's your focus? Where's your celebration? Where's your energy? Is it on the weeds, or it's on the fire, or is it on the flowers? So it's really important to ground yourself at this time, to really focus on what you want to manifest, your intentions as well. Okay, let's zone in on these two themes of abundance and fertility, and do stop me if I'm going too fast. Abundance is plentiful supply of something. Abundance isn't just about money. It can be love, food, it can be things, it can be wealth, it can be, again, opportunities, it can be vitality, it can be anything at all. And there is no lack of abundance. There is a copious amount of energy, of supply for everybody in the world. And the only thing that stops us from receiving is ourselves. Other words that there are for abundance and fertility is copiousness, ampleness, prosperity, richness, plentiful, thriving, fortune. So if you wish, you can use those words instead for abundance and fertility. Okay, we want to focus on main theme of tonight is to help us to embody more and to welcome in more for abundance and fertility. So first of all, we need to remove the blocks, and we did that a little bit with that meditation, opening up the sacral, because that's the chakra associated with abundance. Of course, as you know, for men and for women, we hold our reproductive organs in our sacral chakra. And so shame or disappointment, our beliefs, limiting beliefs, we hold all of them in our sacral chakra, and they stop these things from coming into our life. There's three main blocks to abundance and fertility. Okay, this is going to form the basis of your fire ceremony that we're going to do shortly. So as we go through this, just write down anything that's jumping out for you. First one is, the beliefs and the limiting beliefs and the stories. Now, we can often get these blocks to abundance from our family, from our parents, from society, from our schooling, or we could just pick it up along the way. But things that block us are things like life is hard, that would never happen for me, I must work hard for a living, I don't have enough money, I'll never amount to anything, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough energy, I'm not good enough, people would judge me. So if you think about and just reflect for a moment on any limiting beliefs that might be stopping you. Oh, I'm too old for that, or I could never do that, or who am I to do that, or who am I to have that money, or I have to work really hard to get that house that I want. They're all blocks to it, because really when we let go of those self-limiting blocks, things can flow to us in incredible ways. So maybe even just for the moment, writing down anything that's coming up for you, that regular thoughts that you might have blocking around abundance and fertility. Second thing that blocks abundance is lack of appreciation for what you have. This goes into what I mentioned earlier. So being focused on lack. So if somebody asks you, say for example, it is money that you want to attract into your life, and somebody asks you to go out for dinner, and the minute they ask you, you go, oh God, I don't have any money, then you're focused on lack. Or if you let something stop you from going out, from buying something, or sorry, if you if somebody, even your thought process is focused on what you don't have, if you're focused on the bills, if you're focused on incessantly checking your bank balance and it's never enough in it, then you're in lack. So it's really important to be in that mindset, like that previous quote around the bee and the honey and the flower and the bee. You need to blossom first and then the honey will come. Is that we need to get ourselves into a state of appreciation for what you have. And of course, the best practice for that is gratitude. Every day, writing down a couple of things that you're grateful for that happened that day and why. We've all done gratitude practices. I'm sure you know and you remember what it's like and how important it is and how it changes that mindset from lack to abundance. And it really, really, really works. And that's the simplest way. It's the easiest way to get into that mindset of flow and mindset of abundance. Because over time, neuroplasticity retrains the brain to notice what you do have rather than what you don't have. And that's putting you into that great flow. And you do that even if you want a family, or if you want a house, or if you want money, or if you want opportunities, you want a new job, you still practice gratitude every single day. And that will really help. That will really lay the framework and create a fertile soil for you to receive that abundance into. The third block that we have, most common block that we have, is impatience. I think we're all guilty of this. You say, you open the doors and say, I want something to happen. I want to manifest a wonderful relationship in my life, and I'm living gratitude every day. And then the head creeps in and goes, where is it? Where is it? I've been waiting a month now. I've been waiting 2 months. I've been waiting a year. I've been waiting 2 years. Where is it? And then we try and force things to happen. We get pissed off with waiting and we try and make something happen. But when we do that, when we force it out of a place of fear, then we can sometimes block the natural flow of creation, and we can slow things down. Now, this is probably one of the hardest steps. The easier ones are step 1 and 2. Step 3 is just trusting the process and divine timing. And that takes work on surrendering every single day. So there are the 3 main blocks to abundance and fertility, to inviting prosperity, richness, plentiful, and thriving, fortune, all of that into your life, because we are all abundant beings. We're all deserve to have everything that we need and everything that we want in our lives. The only person that stops us is us. So by doing this work that we're going to do this evening, and by doing this meditation, we're really putting ourselves into a good space to attract in that abundance into all areas of your life, or one area in particular, if that's what you want to focus on. Okay. So I want to move on to the fire ceremony, because this is where magic happens when we do a fire ceremony. From what I was mentioning there, I invite you to create 2 pieces of paper. They can be whatever size you want them to be, but make them small enough. Don't make them 2 A4 sizes. This is more than enough. You could even do half the size of this. And on the first piece of paper, I want you to put it down what I just talked about there. What ways of thinking or beliefs do you need to release so that you can be more in alignment with abundance and fertility? Perhaps it's lack. Perhaps it's letting go of the belief that I'll never be able to do this. Or perhaps it's releasing the fear of success. Or perhaps it's releasing the fear of failure. Whatever it is that you want to, that's come up for you there, just write it down on 1 piece of paper. And second piece of paper, you're simply going to write the word abundance and fertility. It's abundance up here and then fertility down here. Doesn't matter what order. What we're going to do is take a little break shortly, and you are going to first put the first one into the fire. You're going to create a fire. Now, I'd recommend doing this outside safely with a pot and some water and a tea light, or, just be really careful with this. And you're going to put it into the fire and then put it into the pot and watch how it burns. This is the first piece of paper, what you want to release. Okay. Then you're going to take the second piece of paper and you're going to put this into the fire as well. And you're putting abundance and fertility into the fire or the purpose of it being that as you place it into the fire, you're asking your soul, your heart, to let go of anything else that stops you from welcoming abundance and fertility into your life. Okay. Then from the second piece of paper, you're going to scoop the smoke into your belly, into your heart, and then into your third eye. Okay. First piece of paper, you're just going to put it into the fire. Watch how it burns. Second piece of paper, abundance and fertility. You put it into the fire, and then you scoop from that smoke into the belly, into the heart, and into the third eye. Okay. What time are we at now? Let's give ourselves some time to do that. I'm going to leave that up. So it's 8 minutes past 8. So let's take a break until about 1:15. Let's take, 1:15. So it leaves us 7 minutes to do this. And we'll come back then at 8:15 after, and we'll just have a little bit of a chat at that stage about how you got on with the fire ceremony. Okay, so we'll see you at 20:15.
Ellen, are you still sharing the page?
Okay, if anybody is there and would like to say anything or ask anything about their fire ceremony, please feel free to ask away. Or even say anything at all about Bealtaine, you're welcome to also.
I won't leave you hanging, Ellen.
Ah, thank you, Dervla.
Settling myself back into comfy.
I know it's hard to move, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I did something specific. I just popped out to get the lighter in the kitchen. I said, back to my witches, and it's so good, and it's been so long now. And it's good to be back doing a fire ceremony.
Oh, it's lovely to have you back, Dervla. Something lovely about grabbing a lighter, isn't it?
Exactly. And watching, there was something about it. It really has been a while. Just watching it burn. And down to the last on the last one to keep the abundance and fertility, but where it burned, the kind of the orange glow, it was almost like lava kind of just snaking around until it was gone. Just kind of going on. It was fascinating to watch, actually, as it just became less and less, and turned to ash. There was something in there about the glow. It's almost like a snaking glow until there was none, and it became ash.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I don't know what's in that.
Yeah, the snake is the symbol of the south, of Bealtaine and summer solstice. Yeah, it would be considered the power animal of this time of year.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
The snake and the bear.
Language.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. And the bear is my power animal, so yeah.
Ah, okay. Might be something in that for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dervla. Thank you. Yeah, there always is, isn't there? Thank you. Anybody else like the same thing? No? Okay. Great, everyone. Okay, to continue, everyone's done their ceremony. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay.
Actually, sorry.
Yes.
Can I ask you? I'm thinking about that. I don't know what it is. There's something about that glow. It glows until it stops and then it turns to ash. What in the fire ceremony? I remember about, how it burns and what's in it and kind of the energy of that. Can you speak a little bit about it turning to ash? Is there anything?
Well, fire is every part of the wheel has different elements associated with it, and fire would be the one that is most closely associated with the south. So while the solstices and the cross quarter days are all fire ceremonies, Bealtaine is one too. And then, so the Bealtaine fire would have been the first fire that was lit as a celebration on the hill of uisneach, as a sign that summer is here, and it'll be a real purification fire. That would be the intention of the Bealtaine fire, is to purify. And they had the cattle used to walk through the ashes or the smoke of the fire to be purified as well. That was the part of the traditions. So fire takes one form and transforms it into another. So what happens when we put something into the fire, we are asking our souls to transform our relationship with whatever it is that we're putting into the fire. It's not saying that if we put in money, putting it into the fire, that I'm just letting money go, I'm burning money, or I'm burning my intention. It means I don't want it in my life. It's not that at all. It's that, like, if we literally put money into the fire, or the word money into the fire, we're asking the fire to transform our relationship to that. That's what we're doing in a fire ceremony. So that's why when we put in abundance and fertility, those two words into the fire, we're putting in our relationship to, and we're asking the fire to transform our energy, relationship to those two things. So how the two pieces of paper burn is really important. They might go up in flames immediately. They might be that slow burner. They might have that lovely glow as you experience before turning into ash. But the medicine and the insight that is for you is for you. Like some people would say, if it went up in flames really quickly, oh, then I'm done with it. It's ready. I don't need to do anything more with it. And if it's a slow burner, that it's going to take me, I need to do more work with it. But that isn't necessarily always the case. Sometimes it's a case of, if it goes up quickly, it burns you. And you're going to actually be careful. This is going to burn me. Letting go of this will literally burn me. I need to be really mindful of how I let go of this belief or pattern or behavior or whatever it is that I put into the fire. So what you see in the fire is a mirror into your soul. It's your soul speaking to you. And what that meaning is of that experience is for you to decipher. And I don't mean to be kind of just wishy-washy about it. Annoyingly, because I'm the type of person who's like, give me the book and tell me where in the page is that meaning for that for me. Whereas actually working with nature is just all about what do we see in it, because that's our medicine. And in a way that's more empowering than a book telling us or somebody being able to tell us, because it's your relationship. So when you're even asking yourself, well, what is it? What's the glow about? Is it warmth? Is it the slow burner? Is it patience? What was it speaking to me of? Is it just, patience or waiting, or but the is there medicine perhaps then that the transformation will come? But I just need I need to be really mindful and really slow about it. I don't know. That's for you to kind of decipher in your. Does that kind of answer?
Yeah, no, it really helps. It helps the thinking and the abstracting of the understanding.
And fire ceremonies are amazing to do, and we do them all the time. In previous incarnations, Dervla for the White Witches and Soul Seekers Club, because of all the elements, fire ceremonies are so transformative because we're really present to it. And I see lots of people just putting things into a fire and walking away, and I'm like, you're actually not getting the full benefit of the fire ceremony. You see people all the time, I threw that into the fire and I'm done with it. No, that's not the intention of it, because what happens is those things come back into our life and we're like, what? I put it in the fire. Well, that's not the meaning of the fire ceremony. It's like, okay, it's helping us release the layers, like a snake, releases its skin. When it's done with the skin, it releases a layer and changes our relationship in some way. Some transformation happens, but it isn't always the transformation that we think. That's why we need to watch it, and we need to see what the fire is speaking to us of, and that's when we're going to get more insight, because all of nature, all nature-based practices are a mirror into our soul, and so it's us communicating with the deepest part of ourselves through the avenue of nature, because nature has no agenda. Nature doesn't need you to come to an outcome, doesn't need to convince you of something. It's just reflecting all the time, constantly back to us what we need. It's just we've forgotten how to see it and how to watch it and how to be with nature to get those kind of insights.
No, that's great. That's helpful. Thank you.
I hope so. Yeah, and I hope that's helpful for other people. I'm sure it is. Thank you for asking that question, Dervla, because you can do fire ceremonies just like these for anything that you want, and you might want to do another one on Friday when it is the full moon around this, and just do exactly the same thing again. You might want to do multiple fire ceremonies around this. It's not just a case of doing this once and then suddenly the doors are open and you're gonna win the lotto. Maybe you will, hopefully you will, fingers crossed. But sometimes it takes more, because we can have a lot of conditioning, a lot of blocks to receiving abundance. And that's why we might need to do a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. And you can do it every full moon, or you can do fire ceremonies anytime you want. In the middle of the day, at nighttime, a full moon, no moon, new moon, whenever you want. But they're just more potent at these times of the Celtic wheel, and at the full moons as well. Anyone else have any other questions about their fire ceremony or fire ceremonies in general? Please do ask. Okay, well, we'll move on then if everyone is all right with that. So we've talked a lot about Bealtaine. Bealtaine is that not cross-quarter day. The cross-quarter days are the solstices and the equinoxes. These are the extra 4 festivals that are in between. So we're halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice, in this period of light and energy and vitality and growth. And it is that time, that busy time of year. It's mapped onto the day. It would be considered the afternoon, so it's height of light and busyness. And there's a number of themes associated with it. There's a number of goddesses that are also associated with it too. And while we've done all this work now on transforming our relationship with abundance and fertility, and we've done our meditation to help to open up and to activate and clear the sacral chakra, we're now going to do a meditation to meet the goddess Eriu. I mentioned Uisneach earlier, being that 5th province in Ireland, and being like it is Bealtaine, and that's where Bealtaine was held. So the mythology of Ireland is that Eriu was one of 3 sisters, and she was banished to the underworld by the Fomorians that came in. She was part of the Tuatha De Danann, who were the poets and the mythical and the people of this land, who were very intuitive and very psychic and incredible people. But she was said to be banished to the underworld, and it is said that her resting place is in Uisneach. So she is seen as the goddess of Bealtaine. And so we're going to do a guided meditation to go to Uisneach to meet the goddess Eriu. And because she's a goddess, we're going to ask her to activate the divine feminine within us. So what is the divine feminine? Everybody has a divine feminine and a divine masculine within them. Whether you're male, whether you're female, whether you identify as male or female, or what, it doesn't, it's beyond, it's not about sexuality. It's not about identification. It's just about these energies that lie within both of us. The divine masculine is the warrior energy. It is the strength. It is the doing mode. It is the charging ahead and just getting shit done. The divine feminine is about the nurturing, it's about the loving, it's about the compassion. The masculine's about giving, the feminine's about receiving. So if the cup was like, the divine feminine would be the cup, and the masculine would be the support underneath the cup that's supporting the divine feminine. And that's how they are in relation within us. Now, what happens with life and everything that's going on for us is we lose, or we become more out of touch with our divine feminine, because it's not celebrated in the world, it's not championed, it's probably seen as something that's a little bit weak, that's a little bit too girly, when really, in fact, we don't understand the divine feminine, because the divine feminine is like a mama bear, very nurturing, very feminine, very passionate, very loving, but also very kick-ass. You don't cross the divine feminine either. It's kind of like the Bridget energy, a little bit more gentle than Bridget, but close to that kind of an energy. And you have that within you. And when we activate and we ask through this meditation, we're going to ask Eriu to activate this within us. It is opening us up, opening up the receptacle within us to receive. So it's helping with the receiving abundance and fertility into our life. It's helping us with manifestation. It's going to help us with everything that we want to create in our lives. So the traits of the divine feminine, yet intuitive, collaborative, sensual, receptive, accepting, reflective, kind, heart-centered, forgiving, creative, gentle, compassionate. That's the energy that we want to evoke within you. Now you will have your divine masculine as well within that, but if you want to receive, if you want to create, you need to be in that divine feminine, need to be in that energy of Eriu. Now, how you're going to do that is we're going to do this meditation, and you're going to follow it as best you can. It's a guided meditation. And some of you might have been to Uisneach before. Some of you might be your first time there. It doesn't matter. It's going to look different for everybody. If you've physically been there, you can remember it as you've been there. If you haven't been there before, then you might see it as your back garden, as the local park, as a forest, as a sea. It doesn't matter. It's the intention, it's the representation, intention to be in something that represents Uisneach. Your soul is going to a place that holds that energy. So wherever you find that you are in the theater of your mind, in the meditation, that's absolutely cool as well. And you're going to meet Eriu. And some people see Eriu as long, dark flowing hair with green eyes, pale face. Other people would see her as a green energy. Other people would just see her, or not even see her, but just feel her. So how you experience this goddess will be completely different for everybody. So really what I'm saying is to be open, that this meditation doesn't need to look any particular way, that you don't have to have any particular experience, that you're just going to listen and allow your heart to paint the picture, not your head to tell you what you should be seeing or shouldn't be seeing. But I'm going to guide you through that as we go through the meditation. Then after the meditation, we're just going to send you this as well as part of the notes, because we were going to be doing we've done all this work, and we're going to be doing this meditation to activate the feminine from here, maybe for the month of May, really focusing on receiving and creating that fertile ground for the seeds of what you want to create. So you can see now that all the growth is happening in the earth, but the more fertile the earth, the more the flowers are growing. So in order to create a fertile environment within you, things that we've already mentioned, but it's worth mentioning again, really focusing this month on May on your self-care, especially physical self-care, spending time putting on moisturizer, getting a massage, having a facial, going to bed early, giving yourself permission to do nothing, like getting on the tracksuit bottoms, taking off the makeup, whatever it is your self-care, just doing that daily. Another thing that's going to put you into that best place to receive and is gratitude. Mentioned that already. To activate and empower your inner female with this meditation, and to really be in the energy of nurturing, nourishing, receiving. Receiving is a big part of the divine feminine. That doesn't mean that you go around taking all the time. You can absolutely still give, but receiving with grace, with receiving with just joy. And in so doing, you're giving people the opportunity to enjoy giving, but receiving. Forgiveness is a big part of fertility as well, forgiving, because if we hold on to resentments, that can really block us towards receiving abundance. And then, as I said, listen to this meditation often. And I came across this, it's an invocation from the Game of Life and how to play it. This is kind of like your homework as such for the month of Bealtaine, to really focus on these things. And it's a beautiful invocation by Florence Scovel Shinn, who wrote the book The Game of Life and How to Play It, which is a really, really good book on invocations and putting things out there. And if you want, you could use this invocation, and it simply is infinite spirit, or you can replace that with word, God, Buddha, Allah, something that makes the trees grow, whatever you want. Open the way for divine abundance to flow into each and every area of my life. I am open and grateful for all the opportunities that come into my life. I pray that this manifests now under grace and in a perfect way. The last part is quite important because that's all about, you know, divine timing in divine ways as well. So you could change the sentence to whatever feels right for you, whatever it is that you want to invite into your life. Infinite Spirit, open the way for the right house to come into my life. I'm open and grateful for all the opportunities that come into my life. I pray that this manifests now under grace and in a perfect way. You know, make it your own if you want, or use that one and repeat that often. Repeat that daily, if not multiple times a day, and put it out there to the universe when you're saying it. Really, really, really powerful invocation. It's worked absolute wonders for me in the past. I thought that was a nice thing to share with you. That's your homework.
Sorry, Ellen, will you send that on? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to send, I'll send on this actual screenshot of this page. I'll put it in the email so that you see this, so that this can be the thing that you focus on for the months. Yeah, brilliant. Great. Okay, so that's your homework. That's what's important to focus on for the next month. Okay, well, let's do our meditation. And I'm going to leave this because I love this picture of, where's she gone? Eriu in no, it's not it. There we go. Okay, we are going to do this meditation to meet Eriu. So I invite you to once again make yourselves comfortable. And yeah. Okay. Just gonna put my music on chair sound. Okay, so make yourselves comfortable. I'm just going to turn on a light here. So okay. So making yourselves comfortable. Making yourself comfortable. In this meditation, we're going to journey to the resting place of Eriu, a place called uisneach. And we're going to ask Eriu to help us to remove any blocks to abundance and fertility, and to awaken our divine feminine. And also to ask her to help you with any special requests, any things that you want to bring into your life. Uisneach is a mythical place, the 5th province of Ireland. It's a very spiritual place. You don't need to physically have been there in order for your soul to know it. So it may look like your back garden, or your beach, forest, or a combination of them all. It doesn't matter. Closing your eyes if they're not already closed. Just take a deep breath. And as you breathe out, let go of any expectation you're holding. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, let go of what you think should happen. And take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, go of your mind. Let go of any tendencies to figure this out, to preempt anything, to program the experience. We're going to take a journey from our heads to our hearts, making the journey from one place to the other via a lift. And so I invite you to construct that lift in your mind. Ask yourself what this lift is made of. Glass, feathers, flowers. How would you like to construct your lift, this magical lift that connects your head to your heart and your heart to your head? When you've constructed your lift, you take a step inside. And you see that on the wall there's 3 buttons. 0, -1, and -2. Beside 0 says the word heart, head. -1 is throat. And -2 is heart. You press the button for -2, and slowly the doors begin to close. And then you feel the lift begin to travel downwards. Traveling down, down, down. It leaves your head, down the back of your eyes, down past your nose, your mouth, your throat, past -1, coming down into your thymus, and then coming to rest in the center of your heart. -2. The button lights up to indicate your arrival. And the doors begin to open. You step into a place in nature. Take some time now to let your heart show you where you are. Help you to paint the picture. Start adding details. Visualize the sights. Hear the sounds. And the smells. You feel a sense of happiness and contentment here. You feel safe. Immerse yourself in how safe and calm and content you feel in this place. You come across a clearing, and in it you see a hot air balloon. It's big, beautiful, and fully inflated. You notice all the colors, patterns, and the size of the balloon. Then you turn your attention to the wicker basket, and you see a plaque on it that says uisneach, your destination. You climb on board, and you see that the balloon is anchored down with sandbags, and that each sandbag represents a block that you hold consciously or subconsciously to abundance and fertility. It could be beliefs that you've held or related to your ancestors, your parents, perhaps inherited things they told you around abundance and fertility, around deserving. Or perhaps it's beliefs around not feeling good enough or not deserving. It doesn't matter where they came from. What matters now is that they are here and ready to be released. One by one, you take the sandbags. You feel their heaviness. And you throw them over the side of the wicker basket, feeling the release and the lightness that comes in. You take the next sandbag. You throw that over the wicker basket. And again, you feel the lightness and the release that comes in. The balloon lifts a little higher. You take the next sandbag, the next block to abundance, and you throw that overboard. And you feel the lightness. Little by little, the hot air balloon rises. Just a couple more sandbags. Releasing the heaviness of those blocks. And soon you're flying over the vista below. You are on your way to uisneach. You feel the lightness. You feel the freedom. You feel the joy of releasing those fears that held you back. You call abundance to you. I am abundant. All my dreams now manifest. I deserve all the abundance in the world. I receive gracefully. I am abundant. All my dreams now manifest. I deserve all the good in the world. I receive gracefully. Feel, see, and know that abundance is flowing to you as you gently float and are drawn closer and closer to uisneach. Breathe in abundance, allow it to flow into you, opening up your body, your mind, your spirit to receiving the energy of abundance, life, vitality. And then you see on the horizon the hill of uisneach, a gently sloping hilltop. And you see that there's a guide waiting for you. You float gently closer, and as you near, you see that a guide is a woman, and she is a maiden, a guide that is going to bring you to Eriu. Your balloon gently lands beside her, and you step out of the wicker basket. You greet the maiden, and she smiles at you. She asks you to follow her down the road. And so you do, feeling optimistic, joyful with the experience that awaits you. And this path leads into a rich and abundant forest that's full of fertility and life. You hear birds singing. You see the flowers fully in bloom. The trees are full. The sun is high. There's light. There's life. And there's joy here. In the middle of the forest, you see a figure on a throne. And you know in your heart that this is Eriu. This divine goddess, this pure feminine energy. She is full of love, grace, compassion, kindness, sensuality. And she has a coven of women all around her. She is mothering. She is the mother. And she has called you here. She wants you to live a life of joy and prosperity. She beckons you to her. And as you approach her, you take in her garb, her cloak, color of her hair, her energy, everything about her, how she shows up for you. She reaches up to her cloak and unties it and places this healing cloak over you, gently wrapping you in a cocoon of her energy, this healing cloak. Next, she reaches into her pocket and she pulls out a crystal, a beautiful crystal. She takes this crystal and she blows her breath of femininity, of divine energy into this crystal. And then she kneels down and she opens your sacral and she places this crystal into your belly. And she closes your sacral and she breathes her breath into your belly, activating the crystal within you. Her energy is infused in the crystal and in your body, in your creative center. And she asks you what you wish for. You tell her your hopes, your dreams, what you wish to create. What you would like her help with. Be with Eriu. She asks you to make space for your feminine energy to be expressed in the coming days. She asks you to allow this energy to breathe within you now, to receive, to nurture and nourish yourself, to be grateful. All of these things will support abundance flowing to you. She places her hand on your belly and blesses your sacral. Slowly now, she reaches up and removes her cloak from around your shoulders. It's time for you to return. But you know that you can make the journey here any time that you wish. And so you thank Eriu, you thank these coven of women. And your guide comes and gently brings you back. They bring you back to the hot air balloon. But the hot air balloon is magically transformed into a horse. Your guide explains that while you arrived by air, it's important that you return by land. This helps with the grounding, centering, and embodiment of all that you've received. And so you climb aboard this horse and you let yourself be taken back along the road, back along the path, back to your home. And as you travel, the horse gains speed and you feel that lightness. Trusting that the horse knows the way. You let yourself be guided. You let yourself be taken. Feeling the wind in your hair, the sun on your face. The horse nearly has you back now. You're just coming back to your sacred space. Back to the home that is your heart. Back to your physical body. Back to your breath. Taking 3 deep breaths. Grounding. Coming back into fingers and toes. Coming back to wherever you are. Stretching, moving. Opening your eyes whenever you wish. So, of course, as I mentioned, from here, I think I have closed it down, but I'll send that as a separate screen share of that one page. So really now, from here on in, focusing on that self-care, receiving, nurturing, sleeping, as I'm sure some of you might be already. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight and celebrating Bealtaine. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope wonderful, wonderful, amazing things come your way this Bealtaine. Please do let me know if any of your dreams manifest. I always love hearing from you. And in the meantime, thank you for being. See you all soon, no doubt. Next Celtic date festival is the summer solstice, 21st of June. And for some of you, yes, a retreat to the amazing, amazing Mulranny, where we get to celebrate all of that. But thank you for being here. And yeah, I'll see you. I might see some of you in uisneach. That would be amazing. If not, I'll see you whenever I'm meant to. Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Good
Ellen.
night.
Thanks, Ellen.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.